and let's go to the Monday night game where my Cowboys and they're going to the Super
Yeah, we're
Bowl
now at the top
because
of the coaster again.
Yep. We're at the top of the roller coaster. They beat the Bucks 31-14. Game did not start out great. This game felt like it was just going to be an ugly, rough and tough battle, and it felt like the team that was made the first mistake was going to lose. Uh, you know, both teams started out with two back-to-back 3-and-outs, and then Cowboys were able to get a first down and get moving, and then they were helped out by a questionable roughing the passer penalty. What the ref call? And they found something offensively. Pollard had a nice game. They outrushed the Bucks 128-52, and Dak played I think it's not much of a controversial statement to say he played the best game of his career. He had 5 touchdowns, 4 passes, 1 rush, 25 of 33, 305 yards. And the big one?
No turn.
He didn't turn the ball
over. He didn't
over.
throw it to the other
He
team.
did not turn the ball over against a solid, really good defense in the Bucks. And the Cowboys, it's a nice start. And I said Dak's going to have to put together the best 4 games of his career. It seems like this year he's put a good game and then he's put a bad game. So this is the right step in the right direction, and can't celebrate it too much because this Bucks team was not good. That's just a fact. They just were not what they've been with under Brady this year. They were a disaster. The offense was horrible. The defense was up and down. And the Cowboys, they did what they were supposed to do against a bad team. Is they went in, they did their job, they went home, and now they move on to San Francisco.
And as I was watching this game, and we're seeing how putrid the Bucs offense was this whole season. No consistency with Brady in the passing game. His receivers, they're not on the same page. Donovan Smith was a liability at left tackle, missing those 2 guards from last year, Ryan Jensen's first game back. But another thing I thought of is this. Can we, as a whole, put more respect on Bruce Arians' name as a coach?
Yes.
That needs to happen immediately. Because look what he's done when he was the offensive coordinator, when Jim Harbaugh was playing, and for Big Ben and in Pittsburgh, and then the year he was the interim coach when Chuck Pagano had cancer, and what he did in Arizona for those years when, if it wasn't for Carson Palmer torn ACL, maybe they're the 1 seed in 2014, going 13-3 the next year, and how good this Bucs offense was these last 3 years. We need to put some respect on Bruce Arians' names, because last year Byron Leftwich was getting interviews to be a head coaching candidate. Well, now Bruce is out of the building. Maybe it was health issues. Maybe Tom didn't want him. We don't know. And then all of a sudden, this Tampa Bay offense looks horrible, and Leftwich, Byron's not getting any interviews. So I just, like I said, I think Tampa really missed Bruce Arians this year, because Todd Bowles was trying to not only be a head coach, but he was trying to also be a defensive coordinator. And Tampa's defense got worse this year. And I think that's because Todd had too much on his plate. He's trying to be a head coach and a defensive play caller. So maybe he needs to hire someone who can run his defense so he can be a head coach down there in Tampa. But then, like you said, this shouldn't surprise us with the Bucs, because their offense was bad all year. No consistency on the offensive line. Brady and his receivers didn't have any chemistry. And it looked like Tom, his age is finally catching up to him. It looks like that arm strength is going down a little bit. He's missed some throws he should have had. But the big thing is that offensive line in Tampa was just so bad. Donovan Smith, the most holding penalties since he's been in the league, I think in 2015. Those 2 guards, they couldn't keep Tom up all night, and it showed.
Yeah, welcome back, Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Dorrance Armstrong had a good game. DeMarcus Lawrence was really good. Anthony Barr had a really nice game.
Rub it in.
Yeah. he looked like a shell of himself later, but Cowboys had a bad.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Had a bad game week 18 and got it out of the way. And the defense, they looked rejuvenated. They looked like a new team but they should have against a team like the Bucks. And yeah, Brady, does he play again next year? Who knows? If he does, it probably is not going to be for the Bucks. But yeah, it was like you said, Grant. I'm with you. Their offensive line was so bad this year, and they just didn't seem to have. And Brady wasn't himself. Going through a nasty divorce that can't be easy on anybody. And then, just didn't have the chemistry with his receivers. He missed. They didn't have a Gronk or a weapon over the middle that he was so used to having. When you look at, the last 15 years of his career, when he had Gronk or a dangerous tight end, that was when they were at their best. But they didn't have that this year, and they were. The bad O-line also contributed them to being unable to run the ball as well. So, and Todd Bowles isn't a head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator, but he's not a head coach. This is his second time doing it. He's going to be well off making a lot of money as a defensive coordinator, but he's just not a head coach.
Is Tom Brady a free agent or no?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, because Barrero was talking about Sean Payton Brady matchup in Carolina.
Well, logistically, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because look at all the other places with openings right now. Denver, nope. Arizona, nope. I mean, Indianapolis, in theory, could. Houston, they're awful.
I mean, you think about it, you're going to basically trade a first-round pick for Sean Payton and Tom Brady. Hell yeah, I'm doing that.
Here's my question, though. Are you going to trade that first-round pick away for 1 year of Brady when then, Carolina, they have a lot of holes on their team where you can't maybe build for the future starting this year just to get Tom for one season? And who knows,
honestly,
how good is Tom anyway? Or was he just bad this year? Like I said, is his arm strength getting down? Did the divorce catch up to him? If Father Time is undefeated for a reason, are we maybe slowly starting to see Tom on the decline?
What pick do they have this year? Panthers.
I think they're top. I think they're like 8 to 10.
Yeah, they're a top 10 pick.
Because is Tom better than what you'd even an older Tom? Is he better than what you'd have out of the draft the next 2 years?
And who knows? Maybe Tom would want to take a pay cut as well.
Well, I mean, of course he is, but
Carolina has pick number 9.
But it just worries me because I'm not saying Tom was as bad as Peyton Manning was in 2014.
Right.
But eventually, I think physically it's going to catch up to Tom, and then he's just going to fall off a cliff, and it's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah, well, and I think by any standard, this was not Tom's best year, but and as he gets older, and he had a couple of throws that looked like they popped still, but I think the lack of a running game and the lack of offensive line is really what did him in, because he just didn't have any time back there for people to get open. Like it was a balance and mixture of just everything, and just what was a tumultuous year in his personal life and on the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything caught up to him, and there were a lot of guys that were saying that towards the end of the season, Tom felt like he was kind of back to being himself and more of the Tom of old. So, yeah, we'll see what happens this offseason with him and where he ends up and what happens with the Bucs. But the Bucs played so bad, we don't even have to discuss Brett Maher missing 4 PATs.